Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Read and Reread. My name is Angelia, and today I'm going to talk about my January reading plans. Um, Whether you call it a TBR or I just kind of in my reading journal, I keep a consideration list and I just draw from that. So this is a little bit, well, I say this every month. It's just a little bit planned and a lot of it is random because I have so many books I want to read, and then there's just a few that I have a specific reason that I would want to read them this month to participate in different book clubs or discussion activities and things like that. So I'll just go over what I think I'm going to read, and then we'll find out at the end of the month how that really turned out. The first one doesn't really count because I read it already in December, but the discussion is this month, and that was um, Other Birds by Sarah Addison Allen. And I did talk about this in my last Friday Reads video. I'm reading this for the Plum Deluxe Book Clubbers Club. It's a tea club, and then there's a book club inside the tea club on Facebook. So we're discussing this in January, and so I'm ready. All right, so that one is like when you make a to-do list and you put something on it that you already finished so that you can have the satisfaction of crossing something off. Yay! The next one I also have already read, but I did read it in January, finished it yesterday, and that is Where Angels Fear to Tread by E.M. Forster. I am participating in Jen the Librarian's Forster-thon, and so this was on my shelf forever. I mean, I think it's been there since the 80s at least, or the 90s. Never have read it. Now I've read it. I'll talk about it a little bit on Friday Reads. It was Forster's first novel that he wrote in his mid-20s, and it does kind of have first novel-itis, but I will talk a little bit more about it on Friday, and I'm looking forward to seeing what other people have to say about it in that discussion. And I will put a link to Jen's announcement of the E.M. Forster read-along in the notes in case you want to do it as well. Then another one that I am waiting for, I'm participating in the discussion of dangerous liaisons, and I forget exactly what this event is called, but I'll put the wording up here. It's a classics year-long thing, and the Discord was set up by Micah Cummins. I'm sounding super vague, but I will put the information in when I'm editing. But the first book for January is Dangerous Liaisons. And I'm going to dip in and out of this group throughout the year because there's certain books that I really want to participate in, but I don't think I'm going to be able to fit them all in, but it sounds really fun. And now I've joined the Discord, which I had not used previously. So it's kind of fun to learn a new app. And anyway, I'm waiting for the book. I ordered it like a week ago. I mean, I still was a little bit late in the game on ordering it, but Thrift Books apparently strapped it to a pack mule or a tortoise or something, and it's doing like a geographic survey of the United States. And I ordered 3 books because the first one I needed for the discussion. The second one I needed to get the free shipping. And the third one just accidentally fell into the cart with the other ones. And all of them have been shipped separately. So I'm just waiting for anything to show up at this point. So Dangerous Liaisons by Pierre Choderlos de Laclos or something like that. I can't speak French. I did read this book a long time ago. Whenever the original movie came out, I saw the movie, I liked the movie, and then I read the book, and I remember checking it out from the university library. And I read it, and I loved it, and I never had a copy of my own. So I'm really excited. It was on my list of classics that I wanted to read again, and then it popped up in this discussion. So I was like, yes, this is the time. So as soon as it comes, I'm going to read it. I'm excited. It's an epistolary novel written in the 18th century, and I'll talk more about it when it chooses to show up at my doorstep. Then another one that isn't here yet, but I requested from the library is Two Nights in Lisbon by Chris Pavone. Or maybe it's Pavone, don't know. but this is a mystery, and into every month a little mystery or suspense must fall to keep me happy. There's certain things I have to have a certain balance of genres and types of books in a month, or I develop reader's ennui. So I do need a mystery or a suspenseful book in the mix. And Stephen just finished this one, and he liked it. Like, all when you're reading a mystery, you're saying, "Well, it's good so far. It's good so far." Sometimes they completely blow it right at the end, and then you're just like, no. But he liked it all the way through, and he said it was a good hotel book. And that's what we call books that are good for taking on trips or times when you need something that's definitely going to be good and keep your attention and pass the time for you when you're traveling, or when you just need something super engaging. So we think we're taking a little road trip next week, and so I went ahead and requested it. So that's my strategy, is that's my hotel read. Hopefully it shows up in time. And another book that I requested from the library is Bless Me Ultima by Rudolfo Anaya. And this is the most wild card of the wild cards in this month, because I don't know anything about this book. I've looked it up briefly. Um, the reason why this is on my list is because this is another club that I'm in, and this is the banned book club at the public library, which tend to be classics because they choose books that are going to have enough copies in their system so that people aren't obligated to buy one, which I appreciate. And most of them so far have been books that I either already owned or were easy to obtain, and I was kind of familiar with them. Some of them were rereads, and some of them were things like last month we read Rebecca, and I had never read it, and then it was really fun, and we had a great discussion. So this month's choice is Bless Me Ultima, which I am completely unfamiliar with. Now I have looked it up, and I am seeing that it is a book about Latinx culture, Chicano culture in particular, and magical realism, and that's about all I know. And so I'm intrigued, but I mean, that's kind of the beauty of a book club, is to take a look at something you don't know anything about. So if you are familiar with this book at all and have any comments, please leave them below, because I am completely in the dark about if I'm going to like this book or not, what kind of tone it has, why it would be on a banned book list. I'm just kind of rolling the dice. And if it comes in time, I'm going to read it, because the discussion's not till like later near the end of the month. So I think I can squeeze it in. All right. Now, all the rest of the books, those are the ones that have a reason particularly to read them in time for some kind of event. The rest of them is kind of like, well, what else do I feel like reading? And, I just got a whole bunch of new books, either for Christmas or uh, Barnes & Noble book haul sale, after Christmas sale. And then also the ones that I sort of accidentally ordered from thrift books. And then there's another one, there's another one that I ordered that is, I just, if I'm like close to the free shipping, I always throw in a book, because that usually makes it come out just right. And, I'm not sorry. So, but some of the ones that I have recently acquired that I'm really, really eager to get to are Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. I want to go ahead and start this like now, but I'm kind of afraid I'll start it and then I'll have to cut in with one of the other ones that's on a timeline. So I don't know if I should start with a shorter one and kind of save this until I'm going to be uninterrupted, because I don't like to read multiple books at the same time. I'm not a good juggler like that. I like to read one book start to finish and then start the next book. But I want to start it, and I might start it. This was on my list last month and I never got to it, and I'm still wanting to read it. I got this back in October when I was on my trip to Washington, D.C., and it's been like sitting on my cart to be read next ever since, and somehow it keeps getting the bump. But Agatha of Little Neon by Claire Luchette, I did look this up and found out that she herself said that her name is pronounced Luchette, but that she gets called Luchette and Luchette and all these other things, and she is not offended, but it's actually Luchette. So I'm going to try to be correct with that. But this is about a group of nuns that get kind of bumped out of their parish and they have to go out and get jobs in the real world for the first time. And Agatha is one of them, and how this changes her view of herself and everybody else. And I guess it's kind of like a coming of age story, a belated one, because she's lived a, you know, pun intended, a cloistered life, and maybe has not experienced or felt a lot of things that she's been sheltered from, but that she's also kind of avoided on purpose. So I think that's what it's about. And I've been wanting to read it, and somehow it just hasn't happened yet. Also, another thing that I have to read every now and then, or I get the readers on we, is something kind of speculative or strange, or not necessarily science fictiony, or just odd or dystopian or something like that. And so How High We Go in the Dark by Sequoia Nagamatsu. And this was another book that I got for Christmas that I've been wanting for a long time. And it is interconnected short stories in a dystopian future. And I guess it's about after like an Arctic plague gets unleashed, and then it changes the world. And I don't know exactly. It's one of those ones where maybe I can describe it better after I read it. But just all the descriptions of it and the reviews, it just sounds like the kind of book I love to read. And so I'm eager to get to that. Maybe this would be a better one to start because it's not as long and it's kind of episodic. This might be a better one to jump into than Demon Copperhead, or maybe I should just read Agatha first. And I don't know. Somebody help me out. I have a whole bunch more. You know, you saw the stack if you watched the December book haul. Any of those other ones might suddenly call my name. The other book that like accidentally fell into my cart that I'm waiting for from Thrift Books is Dr. No by Percival Everett. And I really am longing to read another book by this author. I loved The Trees. I talked about it in my top 12 list. Telephone was on my like auxiliary list. And those are the two I've read by him so far. So I've ordered his new book, Dr. No. And the description, I mean, it sounds completely weird, but so did The Trees. But it is about a mathematician whose specialty is the study of nothingness. And he teams up with some sort of villain that wants to rob Fort Knox, but he ends up with a box of nothing. And I don't know. Like if the description said Percival Everett's new book is about a man who collects string, I'd be like, okay, let me order that now. I mean, I don't even care what it is purportedly about. I just want to read it and see what happens because he's one of my new favorite authors. Okay, so I feel like that is enough to keep me busy for a few weeks. And of course, something completely unplanned might wiggle its way into the stack, and we'll find out about that later. So anyway, I will connect any of these that have to do with a booktube group that you might be interested in joining. I will put the pertinent information in there, and also of course the book notes. And please let me know if you have read these, any opinions on the order of things, or if you have read, if anybody has read Bless Me Ultima, please give me some guidance on this one. Other than that, I hope that you also have some excellent plans. I'm so impressed with people who have like, they come on and they give out like their year-long goals and plans, because I have nary a clue. I just go month by month. I look at the different things I might have signed up for or want to participate in that month, and just then what kind of mood I'm in, and I take it from there. So, and then of course the other thing that's new for me this year is I'm going to do the booktube judging. So that will, I don't know, I think it's just going to steer me towards some books that I probably wanted to read anyway, so I'm not worried about that too much. But anyway, that is my haphazard plan for January and my complete lack of definite plans for 2023. I just want to read a bunch of good books, and I appreciate you joining me to discuss them. So have a great day. I hope you're reading something awesome, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.